keeping everyone on track, but at the same time, like because the performances felt so real, even though I'd done so much therapy in the writing of the screenplay, I thought I was ready.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And Noora and Zar, thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to be talking to you both and to talk about Zaida. I love it. I watched like already 3 times.
Wow.
Yes, I watched it last year when I received a screening, and then I watched it again for voting, and then I watched it again to do this interview. So
So much.
yes. No, thank you so much for your time. So I'm going to start with you, Nora. What was like the inspiration? Because I know it's very personal to you, but what was like the real inspiration for the script?
I would say my mother. Yeah, I mean, we were in the women's shelter when I was 5 years old, and ever since then, I was inspired by her courage and resilience and ability to rise above all of the obstacles and challenges that were presented to her, and um, find the light and the hope and the ability to, yeah, rise above all of it. So she was really the inspiration.
Yeah. And Zar, when you read the script, like what was about that script? What was about that this woman that got your attention?
Um, as I guess you connected to the story as everyone else can get deeply connected to the story. I think it's a universal story. It's our story as women, but not only women, men also. And in different levels, actually, I got connected to the story, and I was so touched by her courage to speak out, to tell the story through cinema. And I think always that we are lucky to have this cinema as a tool to tell our stories and to share it with the whole world, and then getting feedback and emotions and this feeling get back to us after screening. So yeah, the movie that you see, it's not very different from the script that I read. And yeah, I mean, I immediately jumped into it, and we started working on it. Noora shared with me many materials they had already, like recordings, documents, photos. And so when I just landed in Melbourne to start getting prepared for movie like 2 weeks before shoot, I was already, I think, in it. I knew her mom and herself.
Right
And I was
away.
lucky to have Selena as my partner in crime.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's a beautiful performance, I would say to you. And the I'm gonna keep with you. Like, how did you balance? You know what I mean? Because at the same time, you have so much joy with the daughter at this, but you can see your struggle. You know what I mean? The character struggle, like suffering, is everything. How did you balance that on set?
Yeah, that's actually that comes from the story that Noora is telling us, because it's that, yeah, as you say, there is this pain and trauma in one hand, and there's this joy and this new year and this life. At the end of the day, it's about life. It's about this mother and daughter relationship, and this community in this shelter, these women, and the whole world around. So, I mean, the base was there, but yeah, it was hard to find this balance, because most of the time I was supposed to be kind of traumatized, having panic attack, and scared of what's going on, and how will be tomorrow, and how can I protect this daughter. And I think even in real life, during the shoot, we had all these you know Noora wanted to protect at some point Selena from the whole story, from the subject matter. And most of the time I was playing with her just to protect her, to not getting into the story. But at the same time, she was there, and she really immediately she learned that if she cries, it's just a movie. You know, but we knew that it's a very thin line, and we have to keep it really balanced even for her as a child. But I mean, just to go deeper to for answering you, I think all of us, we have kind of these traumas and feelings inside of us, and it's just about how you can reach out to it and how you can find it in your real life, even if I don't have the exact same experience, but I could find it in my real life, in my real experience of life. And I just needed to find this balance, and it wasn't easy. But thanks to Noora, she had a very special way of preparation, and I think halfway we went through just to build up the characters during the rehearsals with Selena, with other cast members, and yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenging process to find that balance of light and dark, but it was always my intention to not have the film steeped in victimhood, for it to be a story of survival and a story of you know, resilience and finding the light. And so yeah, and it was also like the generosity of Zar and all of the cast, you know, in bringing to set that joy. You know, every time Selena was on set, we were all just blissfully happy.
Yeah.
Because it brought so much luminosity in her presence. And you know, that's the beauty of children, is their innocence and you know, excitement. And I didn't want to taint that in any way for Selena in her life. So yeah, we went to great lengths to protect her emotionally, and to this day she doesn't really know what the film's about. She hasn't seen it, you know. She thinks of it as a really fun experience. And other you know, cast like Osama, who plays the father, who's quite, you know, quite a harrowing performance and character, and he's so unlike the character. You know, he's a stand-up comic. He's done a lot of comedy. Really, like, you wouldn't believe the transformation that he made. And when we were on sets between takes, sometimes he would like break into a musical version of the dialogue and make us all laugh. And I just think that was like the ultimate act of kindness, was bringing that levity and playfulness, and just breaking the tension when we needed it. And you know, I did my best to create those breaks as well, because we all needed it, from the cast to the crew. And
Oh,
we
absolutely.
we had a therapist some of the time. And you know, when there was the Persian dance sequences, we'd all get into the music. And my favorite day of the shoot was the nightclub.
The nightclub, yeah. The dress, I love the dress, shiny.
Yeah, we just had such a great time. And I think, yeah, for me it was really about clutching onto that light when it was possible, and you know, hopefully bringing it to screen as well.
Yeah, it's like the real life. There's always this fear about tomorrow,
Yes.
but there is always a light also. You know?
Yeah. And I think she's amazing. Selena, oh my God, this girl, and then her expressions, even now you're telling me that she didn't have an idea. I knew that, but you know, have an idea what's going on, and her expressions of frustration. Oh my God, what a great actress. You know what I mean? She's gonna have a bright future ahead of her, like, because she's amazing. She's amazing. So, and Noora, and what was like the challenge as a director? What was like the challenge to bring your own story to the big screen?
You know, it was this really interesting double life I was living. You know, on one end, I was trying to be making my first feature film, which comes with its all the pressures and stresses, and being a leader and guiding my cast and keeping everyone on track. But at the same time, like, because the performances felt so real, even though I'd done so much therapy in the writing of the screenplay, you know, I thought I was ready, but the performances felt so real at times that I was just taken back to that child version of myself, and, you know, needed to step away and take time and then come back and direct actors. Like, it was, you know, between sobbing and then coming and showing up for everybody. So it was very, very tough. I think it's probably the hardest film I'll ever make, and that's in that personal, emotional sense. But at the same time, like, it was a really healing process for me, because I think I had a lot of things that were unprocessed, you know, despite having done a lot of therapy, and that was definitely a way for it to kind of to be faced with it. But also, you know, making art from darkness, like, that's such a gift that we have as filmmakers. Like, not everybody has that ability to turn something painful into something beautiful. And I just feel so grateful for that, and the fact that the film has been connecting and touching audiences around the world. It's like, you know, I feel definitely like I have this perspective that I didn't have before, which has been amazing.
Yeah, I think, you know, having Noora as the director on set and telling her own story was kind of inspiring for all of us. You know, just having this vulnerability and strength to tell this story. And as she says, sometimes she was really touched by the whole world she was just making there. And I think I myself, I got really, every time I could see her touched by our performance, I could also, you know, plan for my next plan and frame just based on her performance behind the camera. At some point, I just found her as my source of inspiration, not her mom, because her mom is now, I think she took lots of distance with her own story and she was another person. But Noora was there, and she was for me the whole inspiration, you know. It was quite interesting, this collaboration.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing when you have like the inspiration, like, because she brings the inspiration to the set, and then I think it doesn't happen every day, you know what I mean? Like a director that wants to tell their own story. It's very difficult. People don't have the courage, and you're very courageous.
You know, that's why it's very important to let women tell their own stories, because most of the time we see even women's journey by told by men. And you know, cinema, it's been always dominated by men directors and men producers. And I think there has been such a, like, kind of progress these last years to let women tell their own stories and their own journeys. And I think this is an amazing example.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Female journey. Yeah,
I agree with you, both of you. And Noora, I just want to ask you before we go, the aspect ratio 4:3, very interesting choice. Did you have that in mind when you like writing the script? What was like the approach there?
Yeah, definitely. It was actually, I had made a short film just before this called Tam, which was also similar themes, and it was from the main character's point of view, everything we experience, and it was in 4:3, and it was a one-shot thriller, and it was like very immersive. So I wanted to kind of, me and my cinematographer wanted to retain that creative exploration we had, and you know, in some ways it really helps to make the audience feel more connected to the character because of the intimacy of the framing, because of the immersive nature of it. and also just feeling like connected to her in how she's feeling the experience being in this claustrophobic space and being in limbo and being constrained. And so yeah, I think it works on a number of levels. Also, the film is in the 90s, so it's a bit of a throwback. So yeah, there was a lot of reasons, and I'm really happy because I feel like it did add those layers of nuance.
Amazing. I just want to thank you so much for your time, both of you. I love the movie. I hope everybody, like, now everybody's going to be able to see it, not just us, the privileged ones. And so thank you so much, and a lot of success. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it. Thanks a lot.
If you like to continue to support Jana on Camera, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the videos.